Euromaxx highlights. And here's your host, Louise Houghton.
Welcome to a show packed with exciting stories from the week. Let's take a look at what's coming up. Waterworks, the latest project by artist Christo in Italy. Creative collectibles, football stickers are getting a makeover in Switzerland. And microscopic mementos. Photographer Maurice Mickers captures the chemistry of our tears. When the artist Christo takes on a project, it's usually of gigantic proportions. His most famous projects involved him and his wife wrapping entire buildings like the Reichstag here in Berlin or a bridge in Paris. With his latest endeavour, people will be able to walk on water. Well, not quite literally, but a little-known lake in Italy is definitely set to become a lot more famous once Christo leaves his mark on it.
In less than 2 months' time, visitors here at Lake Iseo in northern Italy will be able to walk on water. Christo's floating piers will connect the shore and 2 islands in the lake.
And all that physical reality of wind, humidity, air, wind, sun, rain, everything is part of the work of art. But the real wind, the real water, the real wet, not virtual reality, not image, not films, not television image, the real thing.
The floating walkway will extend from Zulzano on the shore to Mount Isola and then all around the tiny island of San Paolo. It will be 3 kilometers in length and 16 meters wide and float on the surface of the lake. The modular pontoon construction will be made up of 200,000 high-density polyethylene cubes. It's designed to bear the weight of up to 20,000 people. The system was developed especially for this project.
An idea of that project is very old, since 1970. First time tried to be done in Argentina and the Delta of Rio de la Plata. Later, 1900, 96, 97, in the Bay of Tokyo. We never get permission. Basically, we need to have a tranquil water to do that.
Christo dreamed up the idea with his wife, Jean-Claude. They were both born on the same day in 1935. He in Bulgaria, she in Morocco. They worked together for more than 40 years until her death in 2009. The floating piers will be wrapped in 70,000 square meters of shimmering yellow nylon fabric. This part of northern Italy is not flooded with tourists. The mayor of Monte Isola hopes the art installation will draw the world's attention to this beautiful area.
The walkway will extend from over there on the shore to about here, cutting through this section of the lake between Solzano and Monte Isola. I am happy about all the publicity. What is happening here is the wonder of Christo.
Monte Isola is the largest inland island in Italy. 2,000 people live here. It can only be reached by ferry.
For me, the piers are a work of art. Christo is a great artist, so it is art.
People won't have to pay to walk on the water. The project costs around 15 million euros, but Christo has been raising funds by selling drawings and sketches. He rejects sponsors and government subsidies.
Nobody can use the work of advertising and publicity. And this is the power, because this is the work of total freedom. Totally useless. Nobody needs this project. Only me, Jean-Claude, and some friends like to have it. No reason to exist. You know, coming from communist country, I'm absolutely against any propaganda. Can be political propaganda, environmental propaganda, religious propaganda. It's all propaganda. This is pure art.
From the 18th of June until the 3rd of July, anybody will be able to admire, walk on, and enjoy this work of art. But only barefoot. Christo says it will be a sexy experience that will give you butterflies in your stomach.
Soccer fans are gearing up for one of the biggest events in the sport, the Euro 2016. The championship will take place from June the 10th to July the 10th in France. In the run-up, a company in Switzerland is issuing a special sticker album full of many of the continent's best-loved players. I'm sure we all remember these kind of collection books from our childhood, but these stickers aren't like any other. They've been carefully designed by artists, and we met the illustrator behind superstar Ronaldo's portrait.
A portrait of Cristiano Ronaldo. Kevin Suset, a 25-year-old illustrator based in Zurich, is drawing the striker for a Swiss sticker book called Chuti Hefte, along with other football stars from the Portuguese national team. There's also a portrait of the artist himself in the collection.
I was always interested in drawing Ronaldo because he's so well known. It doesn't matter if you like him or not. That's why I wanted to draw the Portuguese team.
In the collection, every team participating in the 2016 European Football Championship has been designed by a different artist. Suset had to submit a portrait of football star Zinedine Zidane to qualify to work on the project. More than 200 European artists had applied. Just 24 were selected by a jury. This is what their self-portraits look like. Suset created his self-portrait with colored pencils. He needs around half a day per portrait.
Nowadays, a lot is done digitally with computers. I prefer using pencils and the aesthetic they produce.
Italian goalie Gianluigi Buffon has a more realistic look, while English attacker Wayne Rooney looks slightly abstract. Germany's Mesut Özil has sad eyes, while Czech goalkeeper Petr Cech sports his trademark protective headgear. Sweden's Zlatan Ibrahimovic looks as determined as he does on the pitch, and Polish goal-getter Robert Lewandowski projects a colorful image. All of the stars can be found in one album. Sylvain Glanzmann is one of the people behind the project.
Shooten or Chuti is what we call kicking or playing football in Swiss German. It's derived from the English word shoot. When soccer came to Switzerland from England, we incorporated the word shooten.
The team created its first sticker book back in 2008, mostly for friends and supporters in Lucerne. Back then, the limited runs of stickers came in packets that were put together by hand.
We had 500 copies of each sticker, which had to be packaged by hand, as we soon realized. So we ordered packets and started to divvy up the stickers. We put 10 different ones in each packet. It took us a lot of nights.
This Lucerne bookshop was one of the first to sell the sticker book. Store manager Silvio Kohler himself has been collecting football stickers for 8 years now. And he knows the customer is keen on Chutli Bidli. 10 stickers cost €1.50.
These arty stickers are something for people who aren't interested in the usual run-of-the-mill football stickers. Not all of them are football fans either. Often they're people who are bored by the hype or are looking for something unique.
It's a unique project. Sylvain Glanzmann runs an honorary association rather than a commercial publishing house. Even now, he organizes everything himself, choosing the artists and managing the distribution, although the stickers are now professionally printed and packaged. Some of the proceeds are donated to the charity Terre des Hommes, and the artists benefit as well.
Football has become all about making money, even though football is so much more than that. We want to make a statement that passion matters just as much.
His passion has infected the artists as well.
It was great. I really enjoyed putting in all the stickers. It only took me a couple of days, and I was really proud to see the page full of my own creations.
After starting 8 years ago in Lucerne, the sticker book makers have gradually infiltrated the Austrian and German markets too. This time, Silvan Glanzmann has ordered 4 million stickers and beer coasters. The European Football Championship can begin.
Now, if you're feeling sad and need a shoulder to cry on, there is one man who, without doubt, would gladly volunteer for the job. But not because he cares in particular, because he wants to use your tears for his art. Yes, photographer Maurice Mickers documents microscopic images of tears, and he's come to discover that the reason why you cry has a huge impact on the makeup of the tears and how they appear under the lens.
These pictures are not from another world, nor are they snowflakes. They're tears, enlarged up to 40 times their original size. They're the creations of Dutch photographer Maurice Mickers. He used to work in a medical lab and has returned to his roots with his Imaginarium of Tears project.
Actually working on this project, you really need to be precise. You should not be in a hurry, so no hush, hush, hush. Everything on time, everything steady, slowly, and eventually you will get like the beautiful results. And then basically, once you cry...
The tears are often donated by volunteers.
Then we're gonna lean back a little bit, put it over here, and suck up the teardrop. We're gonna put the tear in the reaction tube. Okay.
Okay.
Family members and friends came to his studio in The Hague.
What I do find interesting are the emotional tears, because they have a story behind them, and because you cry and I visualize your unique tear, you can actually share your story. It's like a story starter.
Apart from tears caused by emotion, Mickers works with two other types of tears. He creates basal tears with help from a breeze.
Yep, there it is.
Basal tears are composed of the natural liquid that is always in the eye. And then there are the tears that are caused by onions, known as reflex tears. Mickers has experimented with different kinds of tears to see if he can discover a difference. It's hard to turn on the waterworks to get emotional tears.
Well, I tried to get into the moment and watch some very sad movies, and then I found out under pressure it doesn't work. So it only works when I'm sitting on the couch by myself and watching a very bad movie, and then I can just cry like a baby, but when it's under pressure, it's difficult.
The tears crystallize under the microscope. It can take up to half an hour. Mickers has made about 50 tears visible in this way. A single picture of a tear is made up of about 250 close-ups. He wrote his own program to set up the plate of the microscope. The result depends on many factors: the tear itself, the temperature, the humidity. When the crystallization takes place, no two tears are the same.
A good friend of mine that came over crying because her daddy was really sick and he wouldn't get better, so she actually came over and donated a tear from that moment. So for me that was the most impacting moment, because it was so real and so genuine. It was not forced.
Mickers' tears have created a lot of interest in and outside of the Netherlands. This coming summer, his works will be shown in Singapore. Through his project, Mickers has found out that different cultures look differently at tears.
When I went to Kuwait, it was like when I explained the story to a few men, or when I was in general explaining the story, a few men were like, "Really? Is that so? Because I just want to cry for you from an emotion. If you want to, at least I will try." So it looks like they're more open to actually give more time and space for themselves to create a tear from an emotion. compared to the ones over here.
So even though every tier consists of water, salt, hormones, or proteins, for Maurice Mickers, tiers are unique, and they tell their own story.
Fast, fun and tasty is what can be expected at the newest restaurant in Vienna. It's based at the city's Prater amusement park, and whilst the thought of roller coasters and eating don't tend to go hand in hand, in this restaurant it's only the food that actually goes on the roller coaster, right before it ends up at your table. The concept was developed in southern Germany, and this is now the 7th restaurant of its kind around the world.
Thrills and excitement on a roller coaster at Vienna's Prater amusement park. Not too far away, dishes loop the loop on their way to the tables of a roller coaster restaurant, thanks to a catapult mechanism and gravity.
I like it. It's really something new. I've never seen anything like it.
It's definitely amusing and fun.
It's something new, a new generation of restaurants, so to speak.
I like the way the food comes down like on a roller coaster. It just whooshes down. It's great.
The lids are securely fastened so nothing spills. And in a global first, the meals are sent down the tracks to diners by robots. In older roller coaster restaurants, that task is still done by the human employees. In this new Vienna location, the robots even mix cocktails. It's not easy to teach an industrial robot that kind of dexterity.
We put the cocktails in jam jars with lids that twist shut. So we have to tell the robot to open the jar and then safely close it again so it stays closed, since it also has to shake the jar to mix the cocktail. Teaching it that movement of twisting the lid shut took about a week, I think.
Guests place their orders using a tablet computer. The burgers are especially popular. The kitchen staff needs to have special training.
We want to cook fresh food quickly. We use the most modern cooking technology, like our ovens, which are all computer controlled. And using them takes a lot of training. For a normal cook from a normal kitchen, the technique is a bit unfamiliar at first. But once you get used to it, you don't want to cook any other way.
The first roller coaster restaurant was opened in Nuremberg in 2007. A location in Hamburg followed 3 years later. Guests in Abu Dhabi also appreciate the high-tech ambiance. Back at the new Vienna location, there's not much opportunity for cultivated conversation. The music is loud, and there's plenty of entertainment, including light shows. The robots dance for the guests, too. It's a popular place for people to celebrate their birthdays, so birthday songs are often heard over the loudspeakers. It's a surprise for 40-year-old Magdalena Rotter.
It's really different. I've never had this birthday serenade before.
Despite all the technology, the roller coaster restaurant also still has human service staff. They do more than just bus tables.
We servers explain to the guests how the tablets work, we show them to their tables, and we're always there to answer questions. Just because there are robots here doesn't mean we have less or more to do.
The owners of the roller coaster restaurant are confident their idea can be successful worldwide.
With our entertainment concept, which is unique in the world, we could expand very well into other markets that are very technology friendly, like Asia or America.
In 2 weeks, the next roller coaster restaurant will open south of Manchester, England. Then, in the middle of the year, a location is planned in Sochi, Russia. The Viennese location is putting a new twist on the concept.
Well, that is certainly a novel experience, but I'm definitely glad that technology hasn't replaced the personal touch from the staff. Now, compared to other jazz festivals in Europe, the Bonn Jazz Festival is still relatively young. It's only in its 7th year, but what makes this 2-week extravaganza so special is that visitors get to experience a mix of new jazz talents along with many established greats.
Times when I know you'll be lonesome.
We'll Be Together Again is a song that's captivated generations of jazz singers. Thomas Quasthoff performed his rendition on Jazz Fest Bonn's opening night. The German-based baritone has won 6 Echo Awards and 4 Grammys during the course of his classical music career. In 2012, the singer announced he was quitting the stage. Since then, he's only made rare appearances at jazz concerts.
Not everything I sing is dictated by notes. It's word-based instead. Sometimes I can draw notes out or make them rougher. I'm freer in the way I deal with them, which makes things more relaxed.
Many artists with powerful voices are performing at this year's Jazz Fest. 8 of its 22 concerts feature jazz singers. Lisa Bassange from Berlin is a veteran on the jazz scene. She's just released her 14th album. Her songs mix elements of pop, jazz, blues, and chanson. But Bassange doesn't like to restrict herself to any particular genre.
Ultimately, it's about making the music I love and the music that gives me pleasure, and doing it as distinctively as possible. It's about being individualistic and doing my own thing.
Many of the Jazz Fest concerts are purely instrumental and experimental. Now in its 7th year, the festival attempts to present jazz in all its facets. On 11 evenings, relative unknowns are paired with some of the biggest names in jazz. The idea behind these double concerts is to introduce audiences to new artists.
For me, an interesting jazz singer is a distinctive one, someone who's very special, an individual whose music has character. And this diversity is reflected in our lineup.
Audiences like the idea, attendance is up.
For musicians, festivals are always the best. You get to meet other people, exchange ideas, and have fun. And I can imagine that being able to listen to different acts on a single evening really pulls in the crowds.
The theme of Bassange's new album is Laurel Canyon, home to many legendary rock and pop musicians in the 60s and 70s. On it, she covers hits like The Doors' Riders on the Storm. Covering other people's songs has a long tradition in jazz. Thomas Quasthoff demonstrated his love for American jazz and its icons like Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, and Ella Fitzgerald.
A song is never the same. Even if you sing it 100 times, you always phrase things a little differently. Your condition is different each day. Your fellow musicians aren't always in the same mood. I'm not always in the same state. That keeps things new and challenging and makes them so exciting.
Jazz Fest Bonn runs until May 7th, so music lovers can look forward to many more beautiful performances.
And that note has brought us nicely to the end of the show for today. Do keep up to date with the programme on our Facebook page, though, by finding us on the link below. Thanks for tuning in for our highlights of the week here in Europe, and we'll see you next time on Euromaxx. Bye-bye for now.